today we need to talk about HYBE and MBC addressing an issue and artists getting banned. We need to talk about Jung Kook's song Hate You coming out and what people are saying, and then we need to get into a statement given by RM seemingly. Say Dumplings, it's Dave, decide hater or not. Make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumplings, hey swing mug merch, and let's go. RM recently went viral again, and for a joke that the fandom had made about RM. If you are not aware, RM is very in tune with whatever's going on with the fandom. I think he has friends and family that go through the posts and give RM a basic outline or idea about whatever is happening within the fandom. This of course is so nice because he doesn't have to sit there and read a lot of the really dumb comments, but at the same time he doesn't have to miss out on whatever is happening with him at the moment. Some of the best artists are the ones who know what the fans are asking for, and they give the people what they want. Now, RM posted someone on his story that I thought personally was very interesting and gave a statement whether he intended it or not, and whether most people know it or not. So there's a statement that went viral, and then one that I think he was also making personally. RM posted a photo of him at the airport, and it was a paparazzi photo of him just walking down after a trip with his face mask on. A big X account went ahead and took that photo and made a joke to say that big accounts was sharing airport pictures, and this is not allowed. And the reason this is a joke is because obviously RM's account is a big account, and the issue with big accounts sharing photos is that they often will only share one member's photo or will sometimes forget to share other members' photos, and the fandoms get upset. So this joke was to say that this big account is very biased because they only shared one RM airport photo and not the others. This of course was a statement made by fans to say that if you're going to judge a big account for only posting one member, then you have to judge the individual accounts who only post themselves. And I think this is a great point because these big accounts get a lot of hate when they show support to any one member. And of course, this was never RM's intention to point that out or make commentary on that, but it's just a fun thing that happened. The second statement that I feel is more so directly tied to what RM posted was the commentary on the airport photos. People are very quick to say that accounts should not be posting airport photos because these photos are stalker photos and the paparazzis are invading the artist's personal space. Or better yet, making the artist very uncomfortable to some extent, yes, because an artist can be trained to deal with paparazzi in airport situations, but they can never be prepared themselves for how bad the real deal can be. Such situations are never easy to deal with, and fans don't just slightly touch you or be inconvenient. It's in a way where it's anxiety inducing for the idol. It's in a way where they could potentially grope you or bring a gun, and no matter how much training you have for that, it never prepares you in that situation. Just because you have more training doesn't mean when a bullet hits you, it won't hurt. And the idols are not only responsible for their own safety, but everyone else's, because if something does go wrong, it's their fault for facilitating a sort of meet and greet. However, while it's tough, it doesn't mean this isn't something the idols want for their career, especially if they're having a promotion or some sort of activity. The label will call news reporters to take photos, so the headlines can update on what the idols might be doing. And that's all the label does, is reach out to the reporters. How the reporters and fans act after they've been reached out to is completely uncontrollable, and labels don't typically know, nor is it their responsibility to send a press release alongside a letter with how everyone needs to behave when they see the idol. So I think RM posting this photo is a great way to show that there is that relationship there and that he is actually proud and happy of the photo being taken. Of course, with paparazzi photos, there's always needs to be permission of the photographer to use the photo, at least in the US law. So I'm assuming RM got permission, so as I said, I think there is a relationship there. And don't get me wrong, there is definitely still a lot of injustice happening in the industry. I just don't know if this is considered one of them. One of them is really not an injustice, but another hurdle that HYBE and BTS had to go through was allegedly being banned in some places and some TV networks. It was rumored for a long time that BTS was banned from MBC because we barely got to see them on. And it's quite strange to hear BTS members getting banned from somewhere because your mind immediately goes to, did they insult someone? But But actually no, it has something to do with them, but HYBE. So what happened? So HYBE and MBC had a bit of drama starting a couple years ago. When BTS had their anthology album, they were supposed to attend MBC to do a performance or just go to the award show. BTS attended many award shows and performances, but then did not attend MBC. People were boycotting MBC thinking that they were the ones who refused BTS and thus got a lot of hate. In reality, BTS just could not attend because of scheduling issues. However, BTS was then seen performing at rivaling shows and networks, which allegedly made MBC executives upset. And then in the coming years, people were saying that they saw less and less HYBE artists performing on the network. This caused many people to speculate about a drama happening behind the scenes. Well, apparently everything has recently been settled. I guess the two decided to have a meeting, so Bang PD and then the MBC executive. They decided to actually partner together and create content together now. They want to change a lot of things about the relationship between labels and networks, and they vow to work together. Bang PD then seemed super excited about the future of the two companies coming together, and I definitely believe we will soon be able to see more content coming from MBC that involves HYBE, so we may finally see BTS on the network. Now, there's this theory that we need to talk about if BTS and if the HYBE artists were ever banned. And this was never clarified during their meeting, nor would it, as they're trying to put all that behind them. BTS was ultimately never banned, nor was there proof, even though most people thought BTS was. They just accidentally snubbed MBC because of their schedule, and while a network may see the other channels and network as competition, the artist doesn't. They see the other network as promotion opportunities. And so if they don't make it to one of the many networks they're invited to, they'll obviously just go to the next. And if the next happens to be the former's competition, then oh well, it's not intentional. The other HYBE artists not being invited could be numerous things as well. It could be a band, or it could be simply HYBE acknowledging the drama and just not wanting their artists there. So we don't know. HYBE gets a lot of drama, and a lot of it is because HYBE held so much power. BTS's literal presence tends to skyrocket ratings, and of course, every network wants that. And BTS and HYBE were also such disruptors of the industry that, of course, many people are going to be sad. The K-pop industry was pretty stagnant for a while, and a lot of the labels really didn't want to take too many risks. However, we do see a lot more risk-taking lately, even with Jung Kook and K-pop going in a direction of Western music or music in English. This is a big step, as this will get the country more familiar and accepting of Asian faces, which in turn will move the needle and open the space for more music sung in Korean to be played here. Jung Kook actually released his teaser for his album Golden. This is absolutely so beautiful. The preview showed all the songs that will be in the album. I think it's interesting because every preview has not only an audio snippet of the song, but a visual that goes along with it, which can signify that there could be a music video for each song. I don't know. And the song that seems to have the biggest reaction ended up being one of the ballads called Hate You. The song, from what you can gather in the snippet, is a song about a breakup, and Jungkook apparently wanting to hate the person or paint the person as a villain, as this is the only way that they would be able to move on. And there's definitely a lot of relationships where it's either your fault why it ended or it's no one's fault, and the only way you can move on is through imagining them as a terrible person. And a lot of people can relate to that. Once the snippet was shown and then reposted all over the internet, people had a lot to say about how similar the song sounded. They think that this was a Still With You version 2, and others think that HYBE recycled and reused the song. Of course, there's going to be people who think it's lazy. I personally don't even kind of hear the resemblance. They're both slower songs. That's about it. Hate You was either written for Shawn Mendes initially or written by him, so there's definitely less chance there that the song had any overlap with anything Jungkook had done in the past, given the whole team behind the song were different people. However, I've said so before, if there are any overlaps with pop music, that's just how pop music is. There's only a certain amount of songs that we can all collectively agree sound pleasant enough to the ears. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out Patreon for more videos. Link down below. Thanks, just lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.